Every day, over and over again, we are exposed to news. Earthquakes, wars, inflation, murders, new viruses, and disasters happening all around the world. But here's a simple question. What is all this negative news doing to our minds? Is it simply informing us, or is it slowly affecting us in ways we don't even notice? In this video from the Evano channel, we'll take a scientific and careful look at how negative news impacts our mental health, and what recent studies suggest is honestly surprising. So, stay with me until the end, because what you're about to learn may change the way you see the news forever. To understand the impact of negative news, we first need to understand how our brain reacts to it. The human brain is naturally hypersensitive to threats and danger. This is not a flaw, it's an evolutionary feature. Thousands of years ago, if humans couldn't quickly detect danger, they wouldn't survive. So our brains evolved to prioritize threats above everything else. When we hear news containing words like murder, crisis, explosion, or war, a part of the brain called the amygdala becomes active. The amygdala functions like an internal alarm system. It puts the body into a state of alert. Heart rate increases, breathing becomes faster, and stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline are released. A 2022 study from the University of Toronto found evidence that even just 3 minutes of exposure to negative news can significantly raise cortisol levels in the blood. Now imagine what happens when this exposure occurs repeatedly, every single day. You might think, I'm just reading the news, it's harmless, but this is where things start to get concerning. Many people unconsciously become addicted to consuming negative news. Psychologists refer to this behavior as doomscrolling, the endless scrolling through dark, distressing headlines and stories. Why does this happen? Because our brains are wired to seek out threats. When we see a bad headline, we feel a strong urge to know more, hoping it will give us a sense of control. But instead, every new article delivers another dose of anxiety. So, a 2023 study from the University of Pennsylvania suggests that people who regularly engage in doomscrolling gradually develop symptoms similar to chronic anxiety and depression. In other words, news is no longer just informing us. It can slowly become a source of psychological harm. Constant exposure to negative news doesn't only cause momentary fear. Over time, it can lead to deeper changes in both the mind and the body. Chronic anxiety keeps the nervous system in a constant state of high alert, which slowly wears it down. Depression can develop, along with feelings of helplessness, hopelessness, and the belief that the world is fundamentally dangerous. Focus and memory can also suffer. Elevated stress hormones, like cortisol, interfere with short-term memory and concentration. Even the immune system can weaken. Research suggests that people who consume more than an hour of negative news daily tend to show reduced immune responses. In many ways, excessive exposure to negative news affects us as if we were living in a constant crisis, even if we're simply sitting on our couch at home. One reason negative news spreads so rapidly is the way media platforms and social networks are designed. Their algorithms prioritize content that triggers fear, anger, or shock, because these emotions keep people engaged longer and generate more clicks. That's why the darkest stories often rise to the top. We become trapped in a destructive cycle. We feel worse after reading the news, yet we return to see what's new, and feel worse again. A 2023 study from MIT found that negative news spreads about 6 times faster than positive stories on social media. So now that we understand how harmful constant negative news exposure can be, what can we do to protect ourselves without disconnecting from the world? First, time your news consumption. Choose a specific time of day to check the news from reliable sources, instead of consuming it non-stop. Second, cut off toxic sources. Unfollow accounts and pages that focus only on fear, outrage, or panic. Seek more balanced information. Third, calm the brain's alarm system. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing, light exercise, and spending time offline can help regulate stress responses. Also, actively seek out positive and constructive stories. They exist, they're just harder to find, and they help restore mental balance. Finally, think critically. Don't react immediately to headlines. Pause and ask yourself, do I really need to be afraid, or is this headline designed to provoke fear? We live in a world flooded with information, but we still have control over what we allow into our minds. Negative news isn't evil by itself. Awareness matters. But non-stop, unfiltered emotional exposure can drain us mentally. Our minds need peace, just like our bodies need food and sleep. Here on Evano, we try to explore what others may overlook, with clarity and science. If you've watched this far, it means mental health matters to you. Please consider sharing this video. Someone out there might need this message today. Until the next video, take care of yourself and your mind. From the Evano channel, goodbye.